Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunivadi Paschatya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Mataji. So nice to be here. Can you all please move up because my throat is not so good today, so my voice may come and go. So the topic we are discussing today is balancing our spiritual life with our household responsibilities and other responsibilities like studies and job, career. So how do we do this balancing, and how should we ideally spend our time so that our spiritual life goes on nicely? How do we do this balancing? So let's start by first discussing how life is in general for most people, right? So how our life is that at about 3.5 years of age, one starts to go to school, yeah, for both boys and girls. And then for about the next 20-25 years are spent in education. You go to school, college, most probably post-graduation. And after that, you can sit. So, after that, you have the job life, you have career. So the next 45 odd years will go in that, building a career. Side by side, there'll be family life. So by that time, one is already 65, 70. And then towards the end of one's life, mostly people will retire, they'll travel, some start to play golf, and they'll just relax if their body allows. Otherwise, they'll be mostly coming in and out of hospitals and then finish. Very soon, life is over. This is how ordinarily life is. But we see a very different thing when we start to study scriptures. We get a very different point of view of how life should be lived. So we are going to discuss a little bit about that, particularly for ladies. That how should our life be, ideal life for a woman. So we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 23, verse 20. Ativa bharturvrita dharma nishtaya shushrushaya chasha deha yatraya navindhatatam parikarshita pisha preyashkara sparshana mana nirvitri. Translation. Although she was not, this verse I must tell you is about Queen Archi, who is the wife of King Prithvi. Prithu Maharaj is a plenary expansion of the Supreme Lord, and he was a very ideal king. At the end of his life, he left everything and went to the forest to perform austerities. At that time, his wife, Queen Archi, also followed him. So this verse is about Queen Archi, who was a very exalted, very opulent life she has led, and now she has come to the forest. So this verse is about her. The translation. Although she was not accustomed to such difficulties, Queen Archi followed her husband in the regulative principles of living in the forest like great sages. She lay down on the ground and ate only fruits, flowers, and leaves. And because she was not fit for these activities, she became frail and thin. Yet because of the pleasure she derived in serving her husband, she did not feel any difficulties. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The words Bhartur Vrata Dharma Nishtaya indicate that a woman's duty or religious principles is to serve her husband in all conditions. So this tells us what is the duty of a woman as given in scriptures. So when we read Srila Prabhupada's purports, it's directly giving us information from what is given in the scriptures. It's non-different. It is not Prabhupada's personal opinion. It is derived from scriptures and Guru Parampara. In Vedic civilization, a man is taught from the beginning of his life to become a brahmachari, then an ideal grihastha, then vanaprastha, then sannyasi. And the wife is taught just to follow the husband strictly in all conditions of life. After the period of brahmacharya, so see, this is the stages are defined. What are the stages and what is a woman supposed to do? After the period of brahmacharya, a man accepts a householder's life. So first there's brahmacharya, then grihastha. And the woman is also taught by her parents to be a chaste wife. So in brahmacharya, the men are taught, so many things, scriptures, all the life skills they need. And the woman is also given education, and her primary education or the instruction she is given is serve your family, be faithful to your husband. Thus, when a girl and boy are united, both are trained for a life dedicated to a higher purpose. Now, this is the difference. Why there's difference given in Shastra from what we see in ordinary life? Because the goal is different. When we talk about ordinary life, okay, education, job, like that, the aim is let's have a comfortable life. That's the main aim. But here there's a higher purpose. The boy is trained to execute his duty in accordance with the higher purpose of life, and the girl is trained to follow him. The chaste wife's duty is to keep her husband pleased in householder life in all respects, and when the husband retires from family life, she is to go to the forest and adopt the life of vanaprastha or vanavasi. At that time, the wife is to follow her husband and take care of him, just as she took care of him in householder life. But when the husband takes the renounced order of life, namely sannyas, the wife is to return home and become a saintly woman, setting an example for her children and daughters-in-law and showing them how to live a life of austerity. Hare Krishna. So this is just an excerpt of the purport. I haven't read the whole thing. It's nice purport. You can read the rest. So here you see in so many sentences, Srila Prabhupada has given the complete life, ideal life that a woman should lead. That she should enter householder life, serve her family. Then vanaprastha means either going to the forest or traveling to holy places. And then finally the man will take sannyas. At that time the lady will come back home. She'll stay with her grown-up children and live a saintly life. She will give them the wisdom of all that she has practiced. So this is ideal life. So you see, one significant thing in this is that there is not much emphasis on job or career for a woman, right? The emphasis is more on taking care of the household and family responsibilities, okay? And this is not only Srila Prabhupada's words. Even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in 7th canto, chapter 11, there are duties given for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Different duties. Some is that they will be teaching, studying scriptures. Then there's cow protection. So according to what your tendency is, you have different occupation. This is defined in Shastra. And then there's a separate section given for women, a special section. In that the same thing is said, that she is to serve her family, take care of the household. Those are her primary duties. So this is given in scriptures. Now one may say that, well, scriptures, it's more about our spiritual life. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Why are material duties even important? Why should we discuss them? Okay, as you like, we can do, according to our circumstances, we may do something different. So that also Srila Prabhupada explains in 661, that's 6th canto, 6th chapter, verse 1 in the purport. Srila Prabhupada explains, females are not meant for renounced order of life. They should be faithful to their good husbands. For if a husband is competent for liberation, his wife will also achieve liberation with him. Right? As stated in the Shastra, the result of a husband's pious activities are shared by his wife. Therefore, a woman's duty is to be very chaste and faithful to her husband. Then, without separate endeavor, she will share in all the profit the husband earns. So, see, this is how it is linked to our spiritual life. That if your husband is performing his spiritual activities nicely and you are serving him, then automatically you will also get the result. So it is a direct relation, right? But then someone may say, okay, this is good if the husband is very pious, he's doing things nicely, he's going to get liberated, so I just have to follow him, I'll get liberated. What if he's not like that? Then does this have any importance, having a duty as a faithful wife? It is still important. Why? Because scriptures assign duties according to an individual's nature. So a woman's nature is softer, she has certain qualities. Because of that, it is enjoined that if she stays home and follows her duty nicely, she will be peaceful. Anybody who follows their duty nicely, according to their nature, they will be more peaceful. For example, there is a person who's very active, right? And to that person, you give him a desk job that you have to just sit in one place and do, some calculation or something. That person will not be happy. He wants to do something more active. So maybe for him, marketing or, some job that involves traveling, that will suit him more. So unless a person is in a role which is suitable for your nature, then it will not make us comfortable in our mind. And if we are not peaceful, very difficult to practice spiritual life. So the duty, even if we feel that this is material duty, it is linked to our spiritual life because it will help us to progress more easily. Otherwise, it will be harder. So it is not that it cannot be done, but already there are so many problems in material world. We'll be creating more problems for ourselves. So this is the broad reason why duties are important, why we should follow them, and how they should be followed, right? But still, if we look at it from modern life point of view, it seems a bit like maybe this is outdated. Sometimes people feel, yes, okay, this is for that time where anyway none of the ladies were working. So same thing. And sometimes people feel all scriptures are written by men. So it is from their point of view. They are not thinking how a woman is feeling, right? Maybe she wants to go out. So there are some objections that come to this. That if firstly, for us to accept that this is my duty and this is what I should be doing, it's a little hard to accept. And it's even harder for us to be so convinced that we give this education to our girls and boys, that we tell our daughters that no, you focus on your family life, and we tell our sons that when you get married and your wife comes, don't insist that she has a career, let her focus on children. This information actually we are not giving our children, because somewhere we are not 100% convinced. We feel like maybe it is not practical in today's day and age. Yeah. So I wanted to discuss this a little further, that practically speaking, what do we think and what should we do under the circumstances? So first I want to hear from all of you that if we think about a woman's life without too much education or job, what are the things that come to our mind, that why it is not practical? You may think it's not practical. Why would that be? Any reasons that a girl will say, no, I don't want to just stay at home? What are some of the reasons? Yes, ma'am.
Mataji, in today's world, when girls are thinking about earning and all, maybe it is more inspired by the previous generations and previous things happening in the society, that
Yes.
girls are, tortured,
Yeah.
and they are killed, and they are, mistreated by their in-laws or by their husbands.
Okay.
So all that has, inspired the girls' parents also, that no, you should be financially independent, so that in future if something happens, so you should be able to take care of yourself.
Okay.
Not like you are just, on the mercy of your husband and in-law,
Right.
just because you can't, be independent in the society.
Okay.
So maybe
Okay.
because of that,
Yeah.
they are, thinking in that direction, and even parents are thinking
Yes.
in that direction. And as you rightly said, that, we are also not that much convinced
Correct.
that, they should be totally devoting their life for the household and all.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, they should take care of their duties, but at the
Yes.
same time they should be independent, financially independent, so that they can sustain themselves if in case it happens.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So this is one genuine concern that sometimes we hear horrifying stories, and we feel if the husband is not good, then at least they should have an option of maybe walking out of that relationship, right? That if they are really tortured, but if they are not financially independent, then you are just kind of stuck in that relationship. So that's what many people feel, that if there is a very severe situation, then what to do. So I agree with you, Mataji, that is a cause of concern. But how often do we have such situations? Firstly, sometimes we hear the most extreme case, and being afraid for our children, we want to protect them, which is fine. But these cases, firstly, are less. And also, sometimes I feel that as parents, we have worked very hard, right? Most of us are financially fairly comfortable. So, if we get our daughters married and they have a problem, can we not support them? Like, do they have to be in that situation where they only have to take it on their heads? So that's one thing that came to my mind, that many times uh, parents, they have this concern, but these are also parents who are capable of looking after their children. Many times they have set aside the inheritance for their children. Then why worry so much? That's one thing. Of course, not everybody is in that situation. And sometimes parents feel we won't be there for that long. We will also go. So the children will have to take care of themselves. So, yes, that is true. Um, but you know what happens, Mataji, that let's come back to this, because yes, this is one reason. Is there any other reason that we can think about?
In this case, sometimes our daughter or the lady, she's more involved or more responsible to in-laws, what they are saying, husband or
Okay.
in-laws.
Yes.
She in this that bad condition, she want to get support from the parent, but their in-laws is not allowing her.
Yes.
Sometimes
Oh, but we're just talking about the situation where she wants to leave.
yes.
It's really such a bad situation that she wants to leave. So then she can come back, right? Parents can support her.
But according to our shastras, how can the lady leave her husband?
So if she
In
cannot
this
leave,
case,
you're saying that the situation is
Yes,
bad.
yes.
She doesn't want to leave, but if she has a job, at least she'll go out of the house for some time. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
So that is a slightly better
yes,
situation.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that
Certain
could be one
conditions
reason.
Face the handle the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that if there is,
Mataji, can you start your video?
I don't know what happened here. Yeah. Is it started now?
Right. Yeah.
Something else came. So, yeah, is it okay? Okay. So, yeah, these are some situations that you feel that if the girl has financial, so there's a situation that the family is not good, but she has a job. How will that help her in that situation? I'm just trying to understand
Yes,
the point.
if she has job,
Hmm.
sometimes the parents also, sometimes the parents have 2, 3 daughters, 4, 5 children.
They
not
cannot
able,
support.
They are not able
Okay,
to support much
okay.
time.
Sure,
Or
so-
in-laws also not ready to get
Right. So there is
responsibility.
one situation in which family or husband is not good. That's one situation. Okay, that is not that common, but yeah, that
Yes, sometimes
situation
in
comes up.
these days
But what are the other reasons? That's yes.
If after marriage they're living together, after some reasons husband is no more.
Yes.
Since one
Okay.
they will be
Okay. If husband has a problem, he's a good man, but he has some health issues or he passes away, then who is to take responsibility? That's one reason. Yes. What other reasons could
There
be?
is a lack of education also there nowadays. Parents don't want their kids, they don't train them how to take responsibility. They don't want to live in a joint family. Girls are coming up like that. No,
Yes.
we don't want to take this one. And parents also not push them or teach them how to
Yes.
stay in joint families, because
Correct.
nowadays culture is nuclear family. only.
Correct. So the parents themselves are not giving
Yes,
proper
proper
instruction to
guidance
the
and
girls.
everything to
Yes.
girls.
So because of that, they want to go for
Go
job.
for a job and
Yes, but what about the genuine reasons that people have? We are just trying to address that. How have things changed that now girls feel that they should have a job? What are some of the other reasons? Yes, ma'am.
One more reason is there, Mataji, which is that if in this society, present society, if girls are not earning, in their own family they are not looked upon with more respect.
Very good. Yes,
Okay.
I find that is
And
a case that
they are
comes up
compared,
often.
yeah, they are compared to other girls and
Okay.
ladies in the family
Okay.
who are earning also.
Yes.
And time and again they are told, see, she is taking care of the house also, she is earning money also. And on the contrary, if a girl is a householder only, and she's taking good care of her
Yeah.
family and everything, but still she's looked little bit down.
Absolutely.
This is not the emotion which is said clearly and loudly,
Yeah.
but it is felt.
Okay. So this is one reason that many times people feel that if we are trying to follow Shastra and we don't want to have this kind of very, materialistic point of view, I don't want to work, I want to look after my family. But people don't give respect to that. Your friends, your larger family, they'll think, firstly they'll think maybe she's just lazy, or just not intelligent. If there's any discussion, they will not consider that person's point of view. They feel, what do you know? You don't even have any exposure to the
And
real
Mataji,
world.
if she is educated also, then they will say, oh, what you are doing out of your education, you have wasted your
Yes.
education, you are not working.
Yes.
These
Yes.
are the comments which she keep on getting.
Correct. So very true. So this is there, that a person's self-esteem goes down.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh, I'm nothing, because that's how society is nowadays. They don't value character.
Yeah.
They value your financial worth. So it
Yes.
becomes little difficult to navigate. Yes. So we have, issues like stress. If we have a bad family, then we have that people don't give respect. What other reasons could be there? Financial. Sometimes people feel they just want that extra income coming in. Yeah, sometimes that is the case. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
even we are well settled in the family. What now Mataji told me. Whatever we are doing, they will not treat us like that is time waste work.
Yeah,
Instead of that, you do some other things.
correct.
Keep on your talent more.
So,
Something other than
yes.
comparison.
So whatever you do at home, they feel
That is
it's
not,
it's nothing.
nothing.
Especially in India, they feel what? I mean, you can just get a maid to do cleaning. You can get someone to do cooking. So what work is there, right?
Not here, not in India, everywhere.
Everywhere. So
There is no value for whatever we are doing.
there's no value. Correct. In all other countries also we see that homemakers, they are not given much importance. They feel unless you have a career, even if you have a career, they'll say, where? It's not just that you have a job, it is that you have to climb the ladder and get even better. Then you'll be regarded as something. Yeah. So all that is there. What about internally? Sometimes women themselves feel that I'm bored, right? They feel, the same thing again and again, and they feel, especially educated, Once you've got an education, then when you come into this kind of life, they'll feel like, oh, okay, this is like same thing again and again. Maybe if I was doing job, it would be more interesting. Some people feel it's very fulfilling to have a outside job.
Or what is the reason ladies are getting bored to do same work because
Yes.
of that they are not getting respect for their homemaker work?
Yeah, correct. It's linked. Because people are not respecting them, they are also feeling that what
They
am
are
I
getting
doing?
some appreciation and respect, so this work they liking to do again and again.
Yes, yes. So, but we cannot disregard the instructions of Shastra. We should not think that these are things given earlier and they are not relevant. Because if we start thinking like that, then we'll start questioning everything. Then we'll say, oh, all these austerities also are not practical. Then we'll think 16 rounds, not practical. Gradually, then everything we will start questioning. If we don't follow Shastra, then it is very difficult for us to make progress, especially the words of our acharyas. And look, Srila Prabhupada has given these instructions for modern times. He has come to save us in this time. He went to the Western countries. There were people with all these things, right? And still he gave the same formula which is given in Shastra. So devotees followed it and they felt benefited from it. So we should now think about these arguments and think whether these are actually arguments that we should give importance to, or how we should reconcile it with Shastra. So let's take it one by one. So first thing Mataji said, if you don't have a good family, right? So in the long run, what we need to do is that we need an overhauling of society. If genuinely this religious sentiment is spread, then the character of men, women, everybody will improve, right? So if the preaching is very good, then the character of the men is also so good that they will appreciate all these things. What I mean to say is that if you are thinking about getting your daughters married, then why don't we look for such a family which is pious, who understand these values, that at least we can make an effort. Of course, there is no guarantee. One can make all the efforts, still you may end up with a bad situation. But from our side, if we make the effort and if we are really surrendered, chances are that we will come up with a good situation, right? So if we leave our girls that, okay, they will find their match, maybe they'll end up with the wrong decision. But if the parents are supporting, you do astrological matching, the chances are less that they will end up in that situation, which is horrifying and torturous. See, another thing is, we have to ourselves think about what is a really extremely bad situation and which is reasonably manageable. Sometimes things change, sometimes things improve. So a lot of times we have this fear that our daughters will end up in a really horrifying situation, but it's rare. It's really rare. We should not be so afraid. Does that mean we should not prepare them? No, I agree. In today's day and sorry, there is no harm in having a backup plan, so to say, for these two reasons. That if they really end up in an unfortunate situation, and second, if something happens to their husband, that is also possible. It may happen. This is material world. So little bit training we can give. It is not that, oh, we should not train the girls at all. Yes, we can give them to address these things. But what is happening is that in the process of giving that training, we become so invested on it because that is our education system. You can't do it halfway. That, okay, little bit you study. If you have to get into studies, you have to spend so much time on it, yeah? And then you want them to have some kind of career option. Even if you tell your girls that, okay, first you should look after your household, but as a backup plan, you should have some training. But that itself is so time consuming. They will have to sit for competitions, then they will go through that entire education and maybe post graduation. Then you want that, okay, let them work for some time, because if they have the experience, it is good. If there is a calamity, at least they'll have some experience. But in doing this, they are already stuck. They cannot come out of it now, because you have spent so much time in studying. Then you have spent time in few years of work. Then even if you get married, they're like, we are doing so well in our career, I'm not going to leave now. So it can also become a trap. We have to be very careful if we want to give our daughters this training, that beta, just for a backup, you should have a little bit of education, you should have some kind of training, that if there is a problem in your family, they need you to contribute for some time, you can support. But it should not be in such a way that the child gets entangled in it. So what we should do from our side is give them both sides of the picture, that actually this is your primary duty. You see, that becomes missing. That's why this imbalance happens. That even in our devotee children, I'm not talking only about girls, about boys also. Because in devotional life, it means you should not over endeavor. You should do what is comfortable to support your family. In terms of education, also have that target in mind. Have a good career for boys also, but not such that for years and years they are studying, then they have to go to some very difficult situation for job, and only then they will start their family life. No, this is not conducive for girls or boys. So we should have better options for our children, that they can study very comfortably, then they can have some kind of career, the boys, where they have some time for devotional life. So like in these countries, actually some of the jobs are good. At least the Prabhus come home at a good time. Not so in a lot of companies in India or abroad also. So we should keep this in mind. We should explain to our children that your goal is not like this till 70, you're working. So for the boys. For the girls, if we can tell them that this is your primary duty, first your family life, and then if required, in case of emergency, you can contribute to the family's income. I feel this is a more wholesome way of giving education to our children, giving instruction to our children. And then, Mataji, the question of balancing spiritual life, material life, career and studies, then it is not so difficult, because they understand, okay, this is my priority and this I will give it some time, but not my whole life. You know how it is. Then otherwise they're only focused on that okay, I must have a really fantastic career. That's very taxing. It's not so easy. Even to get into good colleges these days, if you have to go abroad, it's not just your studies. Then there will be extracurricular activities. You should have done some charity work. You should have done something fantastic, like head of the soccer team or something like that. So your whole CV should be star-studded. So parents put in a lot of efforts. They will teach their children something different like karate, or some instrument, piano, violin, just for the sake that they can put that on the CV. They can get good college, then they can get good career. So much effort. If you put in that effort, there is no balancing happening. It is only emphasis on material life. So even if we want to address these concerns, that we want some emergency situation to be addressed, or we want that there is a backup in case something goes wrong, at least then also we should think about how we are going to select the career and educational options for our children, which is not very time consuming or taxing. The other thing was about respect. Now, these things, okay, we can take care financially, this, that. But what about respect? If we are telling our daughters that no, you should just be in at home taking care of your family, how they will feel good about themselves, because the whole world is telling them differently. So I want to ask you something. You know, when we first join Krishna consciousness, how it is? Everybody criticizes. Maybe some of you have good pious families and they are supportive, but most of the time they will criticize. They will say, why you are doing so much? Okay, going to the temple, we also go. What is this every day 3 times aarti and bhog? What is the need, right? But we were strong in our conviction and we went through it. We said, no problem, this is a good thing. Many times people will make fun. You are earlier going for parties, movies, you stop going, they say, what you're doing in life? You don't enjoy or what? Right? They will ask, they will say so many negative things, but that time we are strong because we are so convinced. But about these things we are not convinced. So we are able to face our friends and family when we come, we are so happy and so charged. So we feel we can face all opposition. But for these social things, sometimes we are hesitant because we ourselves are not convinced. But if we read Srila Prabhupada's books, if we hear his lectures or the lectures of senior devotees, we will get the conviction about how valuable this is. This is the genuine contribution of a woman. If she is nicely bringing up her children, she's keeping her household very nice, you should be able to derive satisfaction yourself. Nobody needs to tell you good job. You will, in your heart, you will feel that, okay, I'm doing the right thing. My Guru Maharaj will be pleased with my service. Yeah. So that is one thing. And any situation you are in, people will criticize. You know, if you go for career, people will say that, oh, she's neglecting her family. If you're focusing on family, they'll say, wasted her education. So how much you will listen to what people are saying? It is good to have the strength to do the right thing. So that's something. Please be in touch with devotees who will boost your confidence, who are also doing things like you, and that way we will not feel so bad. And even in the situation where we have to contribute to the family, I think there are many, many wonderful options happening these days, which are online, work from home. So even if we have to, do something, it can still be done side by side in such a way that you're not neglecting your family. Like we have such a nice example, Shivalini Mataji. She's working from home. She's an excellent baker and she's doing everything at home and she's supplying, right? So there are so many options if we are a little resourceful and thoughtful that we can take up. Now, another question that I have been getting a lot is, Mataji, you're telling us all this and look at your own daughters. They are highly educated. Maybe they will go for job. You're telling us one thing, but you're teaching something else to your children. So that's not the case, Matajis. What we, like you all are saying, we also wanted that in case there is some major problem, they should have some qualification. But for that, we did not want that they should spend a lot of effort. So by Krishna's mercy, we were able to find options where they could study at home. It was not very taxing. Of course, they had to put in effort, but they were peacefully at home. And even if they go for job, I have explained to them and they themselves accept that their main responsibility is for their family. So till they get married or have children, okay, maybe they will work. But after that, they do not intend to. I hope Krishna will give us a family which will be supportive to this. But the idea is that they should focus on their family life. So I feel this is an important message we should give to our daughters, that even if we are giving them training, let them have their priority to serve their family. This will actually make them happy and peaceful, because things are so different now. our generation, we don't even realize the challenges there are. It's not that kind of a situation how when we were studying. Competition is 100 times more. Work pressure is more if they join a job. It's not even 9 to 5 anymore. It's like unlimited hours. They give you some money and they think they own you. So it is very difficult for our boys. It would be so much nicer if we could think of things like business, where they are their own person and they don't have to answer. Thank you, Mataji. They don't have to answer to anybody. And for our girls, if we could have such career choices where they can contribute to the family while being at home. So that would be very valuable. These are some things we should think about, and that's all I want to say today. But I'll be happy to take your comments. We can have more questions, discussion on this point, and if there is any further, you know, doubt about this, we can discuss it, because these are Prabhupada's words.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like, as you rightly said, that we should inculcate these qualities in our girls when we are bringing them up.
Yes.
But what if, like, you and Prabhuji are right from the beginning into Krishna consciousness,
Okay.
and you are very well versed with the Shastras
Okay.
and everything. But what about the couples who came into Krishna consciousness later in their life? Already their kids have grown up, keeping in mind certain mindsets of the
Yes.
society.
Yes.
Now they want to change, bring change in their house and bring change in the thought process of their kids. How did they go for it?
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very good. This is actually a concern for a lot of devotees, that if we have not given this information to our children right from the beginning, they go to school and they see their peers and they will naturally follow them, that yes, this is the life and I want to do the best I can under the circumstance. That's true, Mataji. That's all right. Then you do the best that you can. You just inform the children at least of the challenges that they will face, because it is a very difficult environment that our children have to traverse. There is so much stress. We cannot even imagine how it is for the children and how mentally it can be taxing for them. So even if we have come later, but if we have the conviction, we should share with our children that we feel these are the challenges and why we should take so much stress on our head. There is a higher goal in life. Even if you don't think about a very high goal of attaining Krishna consciousness, even for material peaceful living, we can tell our children that have options where you have time for yourself, some time for thinking and contemplation. So as parents, we should give them options that we think this will be better for you, for a more peaceful life. So first we want to give our children peaceful life, and then we can expect them to go towards Krishna. If they are not peaceful, it is very difficult for anybody to think about higher topics. So even if we are not able to convince our children about Krishna consciousness, at least we can give them the message that you should have a peaceful life. Don't be so ambitious. Have so much ambition that you can also relax and be happy in life, spend time with your family. So this is one message we can give, and gradually then we can try and kind of hope that they come to Krishna consciousness. But this is a message that people can understand, Mataji, that there is no peace if we over endeavor for studies or a good job. It's too much these days. It's really too much.
They get influenced by the society a lot because they have friends, they
Yes,
have
exactly.
a lot of other thought processes going on in other people's where they are associating with.
Correct. So out of affection, we should try to give our children as much support as we can. So one thing we can do is be with the children. Find out options where we can be with the children, or that they are with some other family members. These are things that may help. And it's okay to compromise on a very good college Let them go to an average college, but let them be in the shelter of family members. A person who has to do well in materially, it's in their hands, it's in their karma. It will come. You don't have to make so much effort. It will come. This is given in Shastra. This is easy. We have seen this. Devotees, people who endeavor so much years, they will study. They may be even good. If it is not in their fate, last minute they'll fall sick. Something will happen. Right? So, one very important principle of devotional life is do not over endeavor. Teach your children the same thing. That do to the best of your ability, but not that you are just giving your life for that one thing, be it studies or job.
Yeah, I think these things we can teach like from childhood only. Like in my house, I did
Yeah.
my masters in marketing.
Okay.
And I did job in bank also before marriage. I was working there in HDFC Bank. But my father always teaches on me and my sister that before marriage is okay. You have to, we support you, you can do job, whatever
Okay.
you want to do.
Okay.
He always support us, like
Yes.
anywhere you want to go, just be in, like whatever you want to do. But after marriage, he always teach us like what your family will say, that you have to do. Don't be stubborn.
Okay.
That I have to do my career, I have to
Okay.
do job and all things. That I think helps a lot, Mataji, with me and my sister, because we both were like very enthusiastic
Yes.
in doing
Yes.
job and everything.
Yes.
Na? Like we did so much study, and my sister
Correct.
was excellent.
Okay.
Like she was working in MNC before marriage.
Yeah.
But after marriage, her in-law said we have everything.
Okay.
Why you want to do job
Correct.
or something? Because my father said, my
Right from the
father
beginning.
right from the beginning, no, it's don't like you have to do your career only,
Yes.
just go for
Yes.
that only. Money doesn't matter, family matters.
Correct.
Then she said, okay,
Very good.
we
Mataji.
don't feel difficulty in
Yeah.
that thing to adapt in our life, like we don't need to do job now.
100%.
So
That's exactly. You're so
Yes.
fortunate. You Astas come from such a pious family, Vaishnava family. But this is exactly the message, that at least from our side we should teach our children that this is your responsibility. So if it comes from us right from the beginning, it will have some effect. Of course, when the children are grown up, they are out of our hands. But if we've given them the right message, it will support them. It will help them make the right decisions. So thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. It makes a big difference. I agree. That is exactly what we are talking about. That how should we bring up our children? Whatever mindset we are struggling with, it should not be the same for us. Because unlike you, I got the opposite message. My message was, do the best you can in life. And so we were very ambitious. It was very difficult to do the, unconditioning of that. So it's harder. It's better if we tell our children the right thing at whichever stage we can. That will be helpful.
Mataji, just we want to hear about your. I heard you were also working before. How you just adapt everything, or you just came in the Krishna conscious, or now.
It was not easy,
platform you
Mataji.
are just teaching.
Yes, because
So how you manage everything?
so I was, yes, as you said, I was working. I was very clear that I want a very, superb career. I had done computer engineering, which was very up and coming, and there was a lot of opportunity. But when I came to Srila Prabhupada's instructions, and I started to see the other ladies in my office who were married, I could see that they are struggling. And these are not even devotees. They have a home and they have work. But even to juggle that was difficult. So I thought, now in this equation, I also want to put sadhana. How difficult will that be? I want to chant my rounds. I want to, serve the altar. So how I can fit everything in? So I didn't think it was practical. Still, it took me a long time, because this whole idea of being home, I was not used to it. Even my mother is a working woman. She's a teacher, but she's always been working, and so that was the ideal we had. But when I switched, I was actually home, and my daughter, when we came to the Middle East countries, my daughter was 2, and it was very pleasurable to be home. And we were fortunate to be in association of devotees, so it's not only being home alone. I was associating with other Matajis. We had very nice programs. So that's another thing, that the whole idea of that it is boring, it should not be fulfilling. It is actually. If you add Krishna consciousness to your daily life, there is so much we can do. Varieties of prasadam, intellectual engagement from reading scriptures, then interaction with devotees. So there's nothing missing. It's much more pleasurable than anything we can have in outside life, so to say. I did not find that there was any problem. I found it very nice. So that was very inspiring for me to see that happen to my mindset and my life. So therefore, by Krishna's mercy, I do try to share the same, that one is not the loser by taking this kind of a lifestyle. It is not that you miss anything. And you can always do. The point is, even if you feel that householder work is, I'm very efficient, or I have help at home, so you can do whatever else you want. It doesn't have to be a regular job. You can do something on a voluntary basis, part-time, even if you have extra time and you want to contribute. First of all, contribute to ISKCON. ISKCON has so much requirement for talented devotees, Matajis and Prabhus. So please come in whatever capacity, whatever training, ISKCON will absorb you. So that's nice. You'll be serving the devotees, serving Srila Prabhupada's movement. So you will have engagement. And of course, we need engagement. Sometimes children will grow up, they'll go to school, you have so much time. So there is possibility that you have the need for engagement, you can do. But job doesn't have to fit that role. Because job ties you down. Why if it's not needed? Most of the cases it's not needed. We just go along because everybody is doing, our children will also do. But think about it, whether it's really needed. So we can come up with other solutions to engage ourselves. Thank you for the questions. Anything else? Yes, Mati.
Okay, if job is not needed,
Yes.
but husband or somebody, if the girl, the woman, she doesn't want to work, but the family, they want to go out. That is not needed, but husband will tell,
Yes.
no, you have to look out also, you have to learn the things.
Right.
He is telling in the right way. But the girl, she don't know. But sometimes, in case in the angry mood or something, if they tell anything to that lady, she will feel bad.
Yes.
My kids must not be like that. But she will tell, that lady is telling, no, this generation is ending. Because even I also know so many people.
Yes, yes.
That lady is telling, you must not be like me.
Correct.
You have to do your job and you have to be financially independent.
This I find, you're right, Mataji. So even amongst devotees, the Matajis are staying home, but they're training their daughters, you should go out because look how I'm treated. Nobody gives respect. So you're right, Mataji. But those Matajis it is our duty to make them feel good. If their husbands or family members are not, you should tell those Matajis, no, you're doing a great job. This is so valuable, you will not realize now when the children are with you. You'll realize later that what good character you have given to your children. So those Matajis should not feel that they are not making a contribution. So if they feel valued, then they will give the right instruction.
The woman who is facing is not valued for normal.
I know.
The example, household work, okay, we are doing our puja or putting rangoli, these are all in our household things.
Yes, yes,
it
correct.
is auspicious, that
Yes.
rangoli or anything, it is auspicious.
Yes.
But that is not valued, Mataji.
I know it is not valued, but you should think yourself
Even
that
we
it's
are
very
okay.
important. Yes.
Something, okay, when we are doing first time, we don't know how to do. okay, we are learning something.
Yes.
Even for the class or anything, we are learning. I'm not telling you are not learning. I'm okay with that.
Correct.
But the lady, when she is not valued,
Yes.
inside it will be like a hell.
I know. I totally understand what you're saying. And in anger, people say a lot of things. But you know something? Even those ladies who are working, they also have to hear so many things.
Yeah.
They'll say that,
I
you
saw
know,
that also.
you're just worried about your job. Now you have deadline. You're not looking after the children. So it is difficult. Either way, it is difficult. So better that at least you're doing your duty according to Shastra. If you have to hear something, take it out of other ear. Have the conviction that I'm doing the right thing. The result will come sooner or later. You know, sometimes the same people who say things to their wife like, what have you done, you don't contribute, but sometimes they realize that actually you have kept the family together. That same lady, if she's unwell, she's on bed for 2 days, then the whole family will realize.
We pray
that,
that we
oh
should be
my
okay.
God.
We can serve other people
Correct.
in the family. but
Or if she has to go to her mother's house, then 10 times they will say, when are you coming? So what? If she was in a job, you would never see her. So like that. You have to do the right thing. Be convinced in your heart this is that. And sometimes because of our circumstances, we are not able to. For example, there are Matajis who were trained and they have job and they're working for whatever reason. But they train their children that I don't want you to be in this situation. It is so hard for me. I want you to have a more peaceful life. So the opposite can also happen.
Yeah.
Yes? So we
When
should.
I see the working ladies, my friends, so many are there.
Yes.
Working ladies.
Yes.
But when I saw them running in the morning,
Yeah.
is it really necessary?
Yeah, exactly. That's what my realization was also. You have to see very carefully. It is not fun. It is
Yeah,
difficult.
when they are running in the morning in the lift, I used to see. Is it necessary? Really, it is needed.
It is such a hard life. But sometimes they are sacrificing that for the future of their children. But
They
if
also want to go
Yeah.
out from the house.
yes.
Both ways. When some are financial, they want,
Yes.
we can't
Yes.
tell no.
Correct.
But some are they're financially okay. In the both ways,
Yes.
even I will think in that way.
I
I'm
know.
not working.
Yes.
But in this generation, so in India, so many people ask me, you are not working, you are not working, you are not working.
Always.
Is
Yes.
it necessary? Really it is needed? Even I will think like this.
Yes. So many times it is not needed. But
sometimes Mataji girls, they don't want to do the household chores. And they want to run away from them. That is also the reason why they want to go out, because they want to justify their time.
But you know what happens when they get into a job? They don't want to do that also. Which job is so exciting? That also becomes boring.
Lack of training, because in the drawing is we are not giving the proper
Yes.
according age.
The fault is with us, Mataji. The fault is with us. If we are not training our girls, it is because we are doing automatically the way our parents did. Okay, study. But if we are not training our girls, it is not
They
their
want to
fault.
run away from that, and that is why they want to work.
Mataji,
No, I'm working, how can I?
in your case you are peaceful.
Your peace.
In your case you are peaceful in this case.
No girl.
I have
Daughter, you can still say it. Daughter, you can say
daughter-in-law cannot handle nice. Daughter-in-law, I have to be very diplomatic.
Yeah, Shila Dharma says now to teach her daughter to daughter-in-law, just give the example to daughter. To teach your daughter-in-law, you just tell your daughter that such a way daughter-in-law will get the message how
your work. Exactly. Now that also I have no option.
If you start chanting now, you will be
teach your
very
youngest
peaceful.
Yes.
Don't, I think after that you don't affect your mind consciousness that somebody is saying or still she is in that. Because when you start chanting, she will not I think it goes automatically. We should teach our kids also like that.
This is true. If we are teaching our kids about devotional life, then many things will fall into place. Because they will have their identity as a devotee first. then it will be easier for them to follow scriptures. And then if you tell them that because you're a devotee, this is your priority, it will make more sense. Unless we give them that, if we just tell them about, from a material point of view, it will not be that effective. But we are discussing this whole thing with the point of view of progress in spiritual life. So you're right. The first thing we have to teach our children is dependence on Krishna. Then if you tell them that, look, you want to make progress in spiritual life, this is the way to do it. It will make sense. Otherwise it will not. Not as much. I mean, you can try to tell them about peaceful life and all, but they'll say, I enjoy like this. It's okay. But if they have the desire to be a devotee, then the instructions in scriptures, they will be more conducive to accepting. So you're right. That is the first thing we have to explain.
Association, they automatically, gradually.
Association is very important.
It will grow.
And I think these things we should discuss more.
Yes.
Because these are practical things that women and girls face, so we must discuss these. We should share our experiences. Then it will be helpful for our girls. Because so many things we see. Mataji, I wrote this book, the Guru Maharaj gave instruction. That book is only about how, like a lot of the research is about how women in Western countries are coming to this conclusion that they should focus on the family. That if given a choice, because in India a lot of people say, oh, it's because we need to work. There a lot of times they don't need to work. They, with one good income, they can survive nicely, comfortably, not opulently, but comfortably. So they are making that choice. So many ladies are making that choice. That, yeah, I want to focus on the children. And those who are not making, we can also see what their society is like, what is the state of their children. So why don't we learn from there? Because India is also going in that direction. We are following them. So see what is the result of their society as such. Yeah, they have made a lot of material progress. They'll have very nice houses, cars, all, modern equipment. But what is the state of the society? Not so good. What is the state of the families? Not so good. So, these things we should learn. The examples are in front of us. These things we should think about. Because there's so much exposure on social media, so much. So, we should look into these things. What is the reason that people are unhappy? Women are unhappy. Even though in the outside countries they have all freedom to do everything. What to say about studying and job, that of course. But even they want to live alone, they want to have live-in relationship, everything. But do you think they are very happy? No. I mean, if you see the surveys, women are more unhappy today than they were like 50 years ago. In these countries, I'm not talking about India, in these countries, there's so much progress has been made. What progress? More difficulty for women, more pressure. You do very nice things at home and you do even wonderfully at work. So, you should learn. Hare Krishna. Any question? Kirti?
She wants to recommend your written book, Mataji, to them.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your patient hearing. Oh, there's some comments. Is anybody on the Zoom? Yeah, because let me see if I can pull up the chat.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Mataji is showing what is very about it. This is the book she has written. It has really inspired me to become a traditional woman. Thank you, Mataji. She has instructed us how to be a traditional woman. It talks about how working women are unhappy and they cannot spend time with their children. They cannot serve their family properly. They're not finding happiness in their work. So this book will really help you understand more about how traditional women should be. So I recommend you read it.
Oh, thank you so much, Kirti. That was very nice introduction for the book. Thank
Mataji,
you.
are the copies available? Can we purchase them now?
Here is one of the
It is available.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kirti. Kirti, this young devotee, is recommending the book. Can I see the book, Kirti? I'll show it on the camera. This book, she is very kindly suggesting that it can be helpful for these things. So you may please look into it. So some questions. Shashi Mataji is saying a family who got introduced to a family at middle age and their children already into college level, we cannot impose all our Shastra rules, what we are following. It takes time for them to put some light on this, how to balance that. Yes, Mataji, I think we discussed this. So that gradually, slowly, I think they can I think it's important for parents to understand the situation that women are in, that our girls will get exposed to, and according to that, they should discuss with their children in a very practical way that these are the challenges. So, and yeah, that might be helpful. You can only give suggestions. If we've come late, our children already have a particular mindset, it becomes difficult. Be supportive of whatever they're doing, but try to give them good advice. That's what we can do as parents, give them good advice. And somebody else has said that nowadays the girls are not inclined to do householder work, they get bored at home, is one reason to do job. Yeah, true, but well, maybe they can. Oh, sorry, I did something to Zoom. I can't get back to it. Yeah, so same thing what we discussed, that yeah, they can have engagement. It's not necessary to do job for that. They can do something else to keep busy, or do at least online part-time job. Like, okay, Matajis, I think we will close this session today. Thank you so much. It was very nice to be in your association. Thank you for all your thoughtful comments and questions. We can continue our discussion at other times also. Hare Krishna, Janatnam, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Yacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Your
you.
class was very